I have a $17,000 pair of Gucci crocodile boots.
Jackie Siegel, the so-called Queen of Versailles, and her timeshare tycoon husband are reportedly worth roughly $900 million. A 2012 documentary followed their audacious plan to build the largest mansion in America for their 8 kids and menagerie of animals.
I'd like to have a bowling alley. And then he says, I want a health spa. And then I said, we need maids' quarters. I forgot how many kitchens, 10 kitchens.
The opulence on display in the film, wowing some.
Like, this is what $5 million worth of marble looks like.
And turning off others.
So you ask me why I'm building the largest home in America? And my answer is because I could.
So here's our grand entrance.
Nightline even dropping in over the years.
This prism here, I actually copied it from the Louvre.
Their dreams were dashed when the financial crisis brought construction to a screeching halt. 10 years later, their personal palace is still not finished, but that setback is nothing compared to the heartache they've faced since.
We were at our resort in Park City, Utah, and we got the call. No parent ever wants to get a call like that.
I said, is she breathing? And I started freaking out. And I said, call 911. I'm screaming on the phone. But she had already been dead for a few hours. All the money in the world. Can't bring my daughter back.
Their beloved oldest daughter, Victoria, dead from an overdose of methadone and antidepressants in 2015. She was just 18 years old.
It felt like a dark cloud came over our family.
Now they're finally able to share with the world all they've lost.
Do you know how old she was here?
I think she was 16.
Beautiful.
She was a very sweet girl. She had a lot to live for. She was a typical teenager, lovable one minute and not so lovable the next.
Classic teenagers.
Artistic, she was talented.
Hey, Victoria, can I get a picture of you and Miss America? This is Victoria.
In The Queen of Versailles, Victoria is seen as an awkward, camera-shy middle schooler.
Victoria. Thanks. My name's Victoria Siegel, but I like to be called Ricky, and I'm 12 years old.
So after Queen of Versailles came out, the bullying she reported was withering.
The bullying was very difficult on her, and I have a feeling that that's why she started experimenting with drugs, to say, hey, I'm just like you.
Her parents describe Victoria as a free-spirited hippie living in a gleaming mansion, trying to fit in.
That was kind of the beginning of the end for Victoria.
Why?
The movie embarrassed her. She was kind of on the chubby side at the time. Kids make fun of her, you know, because she came from a family of wealth, you know, and she got teased about it. Then she started going on crash diets.
We never thought in a million years that she would be doing drugs.
Their naivete mirroring so many parents, oblivious to the grips of the opioid epidemic that claimed more than 70,000 lives in 2017 alone.
I thought drug addicts lived under bridges and slept on park benches. I had no idea that the more affluent the family is, the more chance you have of having a drug user in your family.
Victoria's diary, in death, revealing a secret life her parents never knew. Their decision to publish it prompted by Victoria herself. In the throes of her addiction, the teen once texted a friend and asked him to tell her mother the location of her diary, only if she died.
Okay, so this is her text. I've never shown anyone my journal, but there's no one else I would rather pass it on to than you. My business is now everyone else's business. This is hard for me. And I'm okay with that, Mom. Maybe you can publish my teenage journal. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I miss her so much.
I'm sure you miss her so much.
They granted her dying wish, publishing her diary, Victoria's Voice, and starting the Victoria Siegel Foundation.
I am on a mission. The day after my daughter's funeral, I went to my executives and I said, from now on, you're running the company. I'm going to concentrate on what I can do about this drug epidemic.
I would die if I lost this.
When you read through her diary, what questions did it answer?
I feel like I know my daughter more now, while she's dead, rather than when she was alive.
Her diary, with its elaborate drawings, a blueprint for a teenager's struggle with adolescent angst. Victoria wrote often about feeling inadequate and struggling with body image.
She was starving herself.
I was involved in business. I didn't spend time to get to know her even better, find out what was bothering her.
Her journal, also a dark chronicle of a descent into addiction, tracking her experimentation with a plethora of substances.
And pills, 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 pills.
What went through your mind when you saw this? Just pills, 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 pills?
Yeah, she, took Adderall and tried cocaine and things like that, and she'd take the pills to come down, and she looks like she was obsessed with the pills.
What was your reaction when you read this?
Oh, I was shocked. If I'd known what I know now, back then, like I said, she'd still be alive.
What were the signs that you may have missed along the way?
There's plenty of signs. She says she's tired and she's just going to go to take a nap in her room. We didn't know that she was in there doing drugs.
A little more than a month before she died, Victoria confessed to her parents she had a problem with Xanax and spent a week in rehab, but it didn't stick.
How do you respond when you hear some of that criticism of you were too wrapped up in yourself, you were too wrapped up in this house, you were too wrapped up in other things?
Those people that are criticizing me aren't the people that have lost children. They have no idea how hard it is.
While the family says they're unhappy with the documentary, they don't regret the platform it's given them to spread a message against opioids.
I could use that as like leverage to get the word out there.
David Siegel says he stepped away from his timeshare empire, Westgate Resorts, to focus on the fight against opioids, raising millions of dollars.
Let's do something now.
Just last week, the proud Trump supporters front and center at a town hall along with the First Lady.
Thank you.
We see it every single day, many overdoses.
The Siegels have helped bring funding nationwide for one of the most powerful weapons against overdoses, Narcan.
So very simple. Press it in the nostrils of the person who's overdosing.
Their hometown sheriff, John Mina, says it's already saving lives.
This year, our overdose deaths are starting to decline, and we believe part of that is, through the deployment of Narcan to our deputies.
I believe that my daughter's legacy is going to be that as a result of her death, thousands or hundreds of thousands of people are going to live. And I've just begun.
This is one of our pools.
How many pools do you have?
We have 6 pools.
Okay. While it's just a quick drive from the private island where they live now, that 90,000 square foot dream mansion is still a work in progress.
Do you ever wish you had never even embarked on it?
No, I'm actually looking forward to the house. It's been under construction so long that it's not only under construction, it's under renovation. We're tearing things down and certain rooms and starting over. Okay, this is the...
Starting over, but not letting Victoria's memory die, hoping they can prevent another parent from this kind of pain.
I do talk to my daughter.
I bet.
I talk to her and I just tell her that I love her and how much I miss her, and just that I just can't believe that she's not here. And I do love you, Victoria.
Our thanks to Juju, and you can read an excerpt of Victoria's voice, our daughter's losing battle with drug abuse, on our Nightline website.